Eredan, it is good to see you safe. Eladan and Elro here told us of your actions at Fornost. Such courage and skill brings honor to all the Dunedain.
Indeed. It is an honor to welcome one so brave to my home, and your companions as well.
I am grateful for what you did at Fornost. If Agandar's forces had joined in the hunt, there is little chance that I and my charges would have made it here to safety.
I'm glad to see you again, Aragorn. You can count on my sword whenever you have need of it. Although I am no wiser as to what this is all about.
I think it is time we told our newfound friends what they have gotten themselves into.
Gandalf, so you are involved in this as well?
Indeed. Wherever there is trouble and strife, and the enemy is stirring, there you will find Gandalf the Grey.
I believe I have begun to glimpse the truth, yet I would gladly hear your explanation, Mithrandir.
You have more than earned such an explanation. Tell me, what do you know of Isildur's Bane?
I know nothing of this. What is Isildur's Bane?
Isildur's Bane is the Ring of Power, forged by the Dark Lord.
Into this ring, Sauron bound the greater part of his power, but it has been lost for many hundreds of years.
Why did Sauron make the ring?
It was part of a grand deception. Sauron taught the elves the art of making rings of power, but secretly he planned to make one master ring through which he could control all the lesser rings and those who wore them.
Why would the elves choose to learn from Sauron? They must have known he would betray them.
At that time, Sauron was still able to assume what form he wished. He came to the elves in a fair guise, and played on their greatest desire.
Eager for knowledge, they learned from him and made many rings. The greatest of these were Narya, Nenya, and Vilya, the three rings of the elves. When Sauron fought,
the Dark Lord made war on the elves and seized the lesser rings. These he gave freely. To Sauron's dismay, the dwarves proved less easy to dominate. By force, he took back 3 of these dwarven rings. The rest were consumed by dragons and destroyed.
The elves were very hard-pressed, and Sauron's dominion spread over the greater part of Middle-earth.
Yet somehow Sauron was defeated.
An alliance was formed between elves and men.
In the end, Gil-galad and Elendil threw down Sauron, at the cost of their own lives.
What became of the ring after Sauron was overthrown?
It was claimed by Isildur, Elendil's heir. It was he who cut the ring from the Dark Lord's hand with a hilt shard of his father's sword Narsil, broken in the battle.
I counseled him in vain to cast the ring into the fires of Mount Doom.
Why would Isildur not seek to destroy it? It was a work of the enemy. He must have known it was...
The ring has a power over the minds of all who come into contact with it. This temptation is all the greater for those who already possess a measure of their own power.
He would not suffer the ring to be destroyed, thinking perhaps that he could use its power for the good of Middle-earth. Yet it is a work of the enemy, and in the end it corrupts all who possess it.
And now, after all this time, the ring has reappeared to trouble the world once again.
Quite right. After lying lost and nearly forgotten for centuries, Sauron's ring has once again been found.
The Hobbit? The one Aragorn rescued. He holds the Ring of Power?
I see now how close we came to complete ruin. But what will become of the ring, now that it is safe in Ривенделл?
There is no safe resting place for the ring. Not even here in Imladris. It is a danger to...
To do so, the ring will need to be cast into the same fires from which it was forged.
It cannot be that you will send a halfling alone.
No, certainly not. A fellowship will be formed. A fellowship of 9. 9 walkers set against Sauron's 9 black riders. Among this fellowship will be representatives of all the free peoples of the world.
Let us add our strength to this fellowship.
Elves,
the hope of
dwarves,
the company of the
and
ring.
men.
lies in speed and
Aragorn
secrecy,
and I
not in
will
strength
both
of
be
arms.
going.
Their number must be few. Even were we to send 1,000 such warriors on this journey, it would do little more than arouse the wrath of the Dark Lord.
We are at your service. Tell me what we can do.
The Nazgul and Agandaur are dire threats. We must learn all we can of their movements before the Fellowship is to depart. Scouts will be sent.
Very well. Where should we start?
Agandaur is our chief concern. Although the Nazgul are powerful foes, their mission here in the north is abundantly clear.
I suspect he may be planning to move against us here. Sauron's hatred of the...
If it is strength he wants, he may well find it among the Etenmoors.
I know little of the Etenmoors. What can you tell me of this place?
The Etenmoors are a spur of the Misty Mountains, lying almost directly north of Ривенделл. It is a wild region of very rugged terrain, home to many trolls and giants.
I myself was in the Etenmoors but days ago. I saw no sign of Agandaur's presence, but neither...
If so, it is best we learn of it before they can take us by surprise. We will scout the...
From what I have heard of you, from Aragorn and Elrond's sons, I expected no less. Still, you have had a long road and hard fight.
The hospitality of my house is yours. Greetings to you, Farin. Many times in the past have I welcomed your kin to my home. The bond between our kindred has at times been shaken, yet it has never been broken. Always before, I have placed my trust in Durin's folk, and never have they betrayed it. You will always be welcome here in Imladris, my friend. Yet I am certain you did not come here merely to exchange pleasantries.
I found this scroll at Fornost. I think maybe you should take a look at it.
A wise decision. This is writ in the black speech of Mordor, a language I will not utter here. It is intent...
Good thing we captured this, then. What will you do with it?
I will destroy this scroll, at the very least. But wait, here I discover more. Listen to what is written herein. Scribed by the hand of Agandaur, disciple of the great Lord Sauron, for the empowerment of his servant Wulfrun and those others of his faithful who prove worthy. I will speak no more of these blasphemies, but it does say that this scroll is one of 7 such works.
So there are 6 more of these accursed things. Maybe we can find them all.
That would be a great service to our cause. Should you recover them all, bring them to me, and I will ensure they are destroyed.
Why bring them back? I can burn up any I find.
You will find that works of this sort are not so easily destroyed. There are strong wards placed upon them that protect them.
You can count on that.
In the meantime, please accept this in appreciation for bringing this matter to my attention. Perhaps it will be of service to you in your travels.
One more thing. I found this book hidden away in the ruins of Fornost. It looks to be...
Ah, now this is writing of an altogether more wholesome sort. This was not made by any minion of Sauron, but rather by the men of Arthedain, likely before the fall of Fornost.
You could be right, for we found it in a chamber that had been long sealed. Can you make out any of them?
Indeed. It seems to be a personal journal. And here is a name inscribed. M-A-L. Why, this appears to be a work of
Malbeth. Never heard of it.
Many of the Dunedain race are gifted with foresight, but none more than Malbeth. He predicted... I will examine this work carefully. Who knows what other visions are here recorded. It may be that we will find something of value to us, and you did well in bringing this to me.
Is there anything more you can tell me about them?
Only that the Etenmoors are a dangerous place at the best of times. The danger will be that much greater if the orcs and trolls are being organized by an outside force. You and your friends will need to have you...
Who could raise such a...
Agandaur would be my first guess, but it could also be a strong orc chieftain or perhaps an unusually cunning troll. At worst, one or more of the Nazgul may have made their way there. If any of their mounts...
Whatever may be happening there, you will...
Ah, Farron. I am glad you are here. I feel I must apologize to you. When I was told a dwarf had appeared on the borders of the Shire asking to join the Dunedain in their watch, I was suspicious. I instructed Halbarad to keep a careful eye upon you, fearing you were a spy. Clearly, he grew to trust you, and after all you have done, I have as well. I am sorry to have doubted you, my friend.
Apology accepted. Seems we dwarves are often mistrusted. It hardly seems fair. But then I guess you rangers have good cause to be suspicious of strangers.
Perhaps. But we should also remember there are others in the world who are willing to serve. I am glad you chose to do so.
So, you go now to claim the throne of Gondor.
Above all, I go to help Frodo fulfill his quest. For unless the ring is destroyed, Gondor will soon fall. King or no king.
Word is you've traveled a great deal. Is there anything you can tell me of the Ettenmoors?
Only that it is a dangerous and unforgiving place. My own grandfather Alador was slain by trolls in the Ettenmoors. It is important we learn if the enemy is active in the moors, but we do not send you there lightly. Be on your guard at all times while you then...
Good luck to you.
Ah, Farron. It is good of you to seek me out. You're a stout dwarf, like all of Durin's folk. And your courageous deeds have shown your worth.
This orc lover, Agendour. Do you know anything about him?
Well, I know nothing of Agendour himself. I have seen his kind at other times in distant lands. He is likely a black Númenorian, and a master of dark sorcery.
When we first spoke, you said you recently passed through the Ettenmoors. Can you tell me anything more?
It is a rough and empty land, home to many trolls. I passed through with great haste, for...
You said there was no sign of trolls.
I saw neither trolls nor fresh signs of them, and that disturbs me more than encountering one. I doubt they've all packed up and left. Mindless brute creatures they may be. Yet they can be used and driven to even greater wickedness by a strong enough hand. Agendour could well be forming them in...
Do you think he's mustering the trolls for an attack?
That is my fear. I would gladly be proven wrong, but my heart misgives me. We must know. Such a force could be sent against Ривенделл, perhaps in hopes of capturing the ring.
I'll get my friends and we'll head for the moors. If there's something to find, we'll find it.
Even in strange surroundings, you can trust a dwarf to find his way to a forge. You are welcome in my smithy, Farron of...
How is it that an elf of Ривенделл knows my name?
News travels swiftly in this household. I suspect everyone in Imladris has heard of your exploits by now. But such adventures are often hard on one's weapons and armor. Perhaps you have need of my services?
You don't look like any elf of Ривенделл. I'd wager you are one of the Wood Elves of Mirkwood.
You are correct. I am Legolas, son of Thranduil, king of the Woodland Realm. And I believe you are a dwarf of the Lonely...
That's right. I'm Farron of Erebor. Strange meeting a Wood Elf here, when I so seldom see them at home.
It is true. The distance between our two realms is not great. Yet it seems we seldom have dealings with your folk.
If things are cold between our folk, it is not the fault of the dwarves.
Oh? I had not heard the fault lies with the elves.
What brought you on such a long and perilous journey?
Unpleasant business. My father sent me to report the escape of Gollum, a creature Aragorn had entrusted to our care.
What can you tell me about this Gollum?
A pathetic creature who long held the Ring of Power. The evil of the ring has left him twisted and tormented. His only thought is to recover what was taken from him.
How did Gollum manage to escape? I understood you Wood Elves were pretty good at holding prisoners. But this one got away?
Not from a lack of watchfulness, but perhaps from too much kindness. We occasionally allowed Gollum to go about the wood, but on one of these ventures, the guards were attacked by orcs from Dol Guldur. In the confusion, Gollum escaped. We followed his tracks southward for many leagues, until it drew near to Dol Guldur.
Dol Guldur. A name of dread to my folk. What do you know of it?
A stronghold of the enemy in the south of Mirkwood. It was once the dwelling of the Dark Lord, until he was driven out in the year of the Dragon's Fall. But it has once again become a place of great evil. All the darkness that besets Mirkwood has its source in Dol Guldur.
So, will you be on your way back to Mirkwood soon?
No. I have been chosen to represent elven kind among the Company of the Ring. I will be accompanying the halfling, Frodo Baggins, on his journey south.
It seems a little strange that, with a house full of his own people to consider, Elrond chose you, a Wood Elf, to represent the elven folk in the Fellowship.
I asked for the privilege, and Elrond did not refuse me. I feel he may have been relieved not to lose any of his household to this quest. He will have need of all his strength, should the...
Why'd you volunteer?
Partially to make amends for the loss of Gollum, but more so because this will be the final chapter in our long struggle against the darkness. And I wish to have a hand in our final victory. Or at least, to stand...
Good luck to you, Legolas.
Greetings! I hope the Lady Arwen will have some good suggestions for my verse. I'm really most eager to finish the thing.
Do all hobbits share your love of poetry?
Yes, I suppose so, although usually our songs and poems concern good food, good drink, and good humor. All those things we love the most. It's quite a bit different from what you've...
But you were writing a poem about Aragorn. Certainly that is no drinking song.
Well, one can't live long among the elves without some of their habits rubbing off, I suppose. Although I doubt I will ever match the elven appetite for music, poetry, and tales. They seem to...
Well, you'll never finish that poem if I don't stop pestering you with my questions. So, farewell for now.
Farron, my lad, by my beard, it's good to see you again. When you left Erebor to stand guard on the Shire, Gimli and I feared we might be seeing the last of you. Now I hear you stood with the Rangers in the battle against the Nazgul at Sarn Ford, and bested an orc chieftain at Fornost. Good work!
I can't take all the credit. I had Andriel, an elf of Ривенделл, and the ranger, Eradan, at my back.
Reminds me of the old days when dwarves, elves, and men fought together in the Battle of the Five Armies.
It does my heart good to see you, kinsman. But something dire must have happened to bring you all the way here.
All is well enough at the mountain, don't fear. The enemy's servant makes threats, but we will stand fast. Gimli is hereabouts, and he can give you the details. We came at the bidding of King Dane. With the enemy seeking news of Bilbo, Dane thought we should come to Elrond for counsel. I never imagined what I'd learn when we got here, but it may be wise to say no more.
Gandalf has told us of Frodo's burden. It's no wonder Sauron's messenger came to us looking for news of hobbits.
Alas, that we should live in such times. Well, Frodo knows what he must do. If I were younger, I'd go with him. But we must each serve where we are most needed, even as you must, with such friends as you trust.
And where's that? Where would you have me go? Back to Erebor?
That's plain as the beard on my face. It's right here, of course. You've uncovered a deadly enemy in this Agandaur. As long as he's free to carry out Sauron's will, he'll gather more orcs, goblins, and trolls to his banner. Ривенделл, the Shire, the Brelons, no place will be safe from his wrath. He must be stopped.
And besides, it wouldn't hurt to keep Sauron a little distracted. If we keep him second-guessing his plans for the conquest of the North, it could only help Frodo in the long run.
That's my thoughts upon the matter, too. Be the stinging fly in the ointment, as it were. Only this fly's sting will be deadly. And it's time to be about your business. Goodbye, and good luck to you.
Welcome, Dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Welcome to Imladris. Are you in need of anything to help you in your travels? I have many things in my keeping.
The sun shines and all is fair and... A far cry from the blood and dust of Fornost, is it not? Indeed, things might have gone badly for us had you not been there. You have earned some time and I believe you will find no place better for the restoration of body and spirit than this, our home.
I may need a few things before I'm ready to...
If it is provisions or other supplies you need, you should... And if your arms and armor need tending, seek out Angmir. Both of them may be found.
Farewell, and luck be... Gimli, son of Glóin! This is a happy meeting. But what brings you to Ривенделл? What has passed for good or ill since I left the mountain?
Aye, and it's good to see you again, kinsman. I've heard of your exploits at Sarnford and Fornost. They sing your praises here. After you left to aid in the protection of the Shire, the foul messenger from Mordor returned yet again with more threats. King Dane thought it best to seek advice from Elrond. He chose Glóin to speak for him. When my father set out, I refused to be left behind, as happened with Thorin's quest. You were there at the Battle of the Five Armies, while I was left to cool my heels at the hearthside. Well, not this time. I go with the hobbit Frodo and his chosen
You have the luck of it to bear the honor of the dwarves on that quest. When do you leave for the south?
We'll not be leaving until Elrond's scouts return. They've gone off in all directions in search of the Nazgul, in case any survive the flooding of the river. But they have eyes out for other dangers as well.
I volunteered for such a mission. My friends and I are to search the Ettenmoors for signs of what this Agandaur may be planning.
Good, good. I don't like the sound of him. He reminds me too much of the Black Rider they sent to our doorstep, demanding word of Bilbo. Well, don't delay, kinsman. The sooner the scouts return, the sooner my party can set out. The road to Mordor is long and grim, but I'll fulfill my oath, though all the orcs of Middle-earth stand in my way. Still, it would be better to have only the south to worry over.
We killed an orc chieftain and drove Agandaur from his stronghold. What worries you about the north?
Before we left, we heard that Mordor was stirring up the Easterlings. But should they be foolish enough to move against King Brand of Dale, they'll find King Dane of Erebor standing fast at his side. But every step of the way here, we heard rumor of new gatherings of orcs and goblins and worse things. And though the fearful count every enemy twice, there may be some truth to it. You found such enemies at Fornast. When Sauron strikes, there will be more than one land that feels his wrath. I fear for the Shire and Ривенделл, but my heart would rest more easily if I knew you kept watch over them. If Faron of the Lonely Mountain defends the north, then no enemy can prevail.
You don't ask much, but my friends and I will do what we can. If you can bear the honor of the dwarves on your quest, I can do no less here. You have my word on it.
Hello, you are Faron, aren't you? I was hoping I would get a chance to speak with you.
Aye, and you must be Frodo Baggins. Aragorn and Gandalf have told me all about you, and the burden you bear.
Likewise, they have told me all about you. I wanted to thank you and your friends for all you did to keep us safe on our journey to Ривенделл.
I think most of your thanks should go to the Rangers who fell at Sarn.
You are right, of course. For my part, I will never forget what they have done for us. Even though none of those they protected were even aware of their watch. I should like to think the people of the Shire will be safe now. There have been times in the past when I felt that an earthquake or an invasion of dragons might be good for them. But I don't feel like that anymore. Knowing the Shire lies behind, safe and comfortable, will make my journey more bearable.
I came west to help protect the Shire, and I'm not about to quit now. Those of us who are staying behind will do everything we can to keep the North safe.
That is a comfort to me. I only hope that I can live up to your example.
Take heart, Frodo. You'll have some stout folk along with you. Aragorn and Gandalf won't lead you astray.
Yes, I can't think of a better pair to have with me in a pinch than Gandalf and Strider. Without them, I would feel as if I was wandering alone in the dark.
You've got hidden strength in you. Like all your kind, it seems. I think you will do us all proud. Good luck to you, and all who go with you.